Hello everyone, this is Edgar Assad, and today I'm going to show you how to track 10 different image targets using Wikitude SDK. So let's go into their website and download Expert Edition of Wikitude SDK. This is a recent version, and don't forget to register on their website so that you would get your license for the project we're working with. Next, let's go into the developer section. And we're going to open Wikitude Studio so that we could create a project and upload image targets that we plan to use in this project. Let's select image target and project name, Wikitude Multiple. Great, our SDK already downloaded, so let's open it up. And I'll be actually using Wikitude Unity example from the archive. Let's rename it to Wikitude Multiple AR. That's great. And using Unity Hub, I'm going to add this project from the desktop. Great. The version of Unity we're going to use is 2019.2.12, but it should work perfectly fine on newer versions of Unity. For this project, we're going to use these modules: one script for videos, 3 videos themselves, and 10 image targets. And of course, we have the license key for this bundle ID. So let's move these 10 image targets to the Wikitude Studio portal. And the tracking efficiency is max, which is 3-star ratings. And I suggest you keep 3-star ratings if you're planning to use your own image targets, especially if you're going to track many image targets, right? And you're going to make many augmentations. Let's send the trackers to our email and let's download from the email itself. You should get this email instantly. And let's move it to the desktop. Great. Now let's open up our Unity and we're going to open up a sample scene that is already provided within the Unity, which is called Simple Multiple Tracker. We're going to add Wikitude license inside this scene, right here in Wikitude license key section. And we're going to change the bundle ID, but before, let's remove all the scenes in build settings and let's switch target platform to Android. Let's go into the player settings and let's copy and paste the bundle ID that we're planning to use. Okay, product name Wikitude Multiple. Let's uncheck Android TV compatibility, and yeah, that's about it. We can continue with importing all the assets we have prepared for this tutorial. So great, tracker should be moved to the streaming assets folder. Then 3 of those videos should be put as well in the streaming assets folder. Okay, so then set video URL script inside the assets and modules inside the assets as well. So while importing modules, it should take a while. If you will get this warning, just fix those textures and continue working with the tutorial. So Now we're going to add some more tracker images. As I mentioned, we're going to use 10 of them. So we're going to duplicate the trackers that we have inside the image tracker game object. Yeah, this one. But let's firstly select the tracker that we have imported into the streaming assets folder. As you can see, we already see on the right side in the inspector menu all the tracker images available. So let's rename all the game objects, all the trackers to tracker 1, tracker 2, tracker 3, and accordingly we should select the tracker we want to use, right? And only keep one check mark, not 2 or 3. So make sure only one check mark is selected in each specific tracker that we are planning to use. Tracker 7, tracker 8, let's select only tracker 8. Tracker 9, let's select only tracker 9 and deselect everything else. And tracker 10, the last one, which is actually not at the bottom but a little bit below the first tracker. Great, that's about it. Now we're going to work with the content. So we're going to start with this air model. Let's drag and drop to the hierarchy. And let's turn on the tracker image so it would be visible in the scene. As you can see, this model is quite small at the moment, so let's increase the scale to 12 on each axis. So this looks quite good. The next thing we're going to do is apply the texture, and it's already looking quite good. And we're going to add animation as well. This model contains one idle animation, but firstly we need to create animator, and we need to assign this animator inside the animator component on top of this model. And of course, let's drag and drop the animation itself inside the animator controller. Don't forget to check the loop time so that the animation wouldn't stop. So that's about it with the first model. Let's create the prefab by dragging this model from the hierarchy to the project view, and let's drag this prefab to the image trackable drivable variable. And let's move on to the second image tracker. Okay, Jaguar. Let's drag and drop. It will be quite repetitive steps as with the first one. We were going to increase the scale, move it to the fourth tracker image because this tracker image is with the Jaguar heads. Let's move the position a little bit. That's great. Okay, now let's apply the texture. Make sure you're applying the texture on the right game object, the one that contains renderer. Yeah, looks good. And let's add the animator controller and the assign animation to the animator controller itself. And don't forget to check the loop time. That's great. Loop time. apply. Once again, let's create the prefab for this specific model by dragging and dropping to the project view. And let's assign to the drivable variable on top of the tracker 4. That's it with the second tracker. The same thing applies with the third model. The size 12 on each axis. Okay, let's increase it a little bit to 14. Dog looks well. Let's assign the texture. Animator controller. Rename it Playful Dog Holo, and assign this animator controller to the game object. If for some reason some models wouldn't contain animator component, you should add it. Retro Rocket. Okay, this is the tracker 10. Let's increase the scale to 14. Move it up a little bit. Okay, let's increase even more. Let's do the same thing, create animator controller. Assign it to the animator component and add the animation. Yeah, there's quite a lot of repetitive steps. There's lots of mechanical work over here, and we will reach our goal by augmenting different models. The Eye of Ra actually doesn't contain any animation, so we'll add it in a super simple way. We don't even need to change the scale, looks good. Just assign the texture and we're good to go. In this case, as we can see, there is more than one texture, so albedo, normal map, and specular. Let's add it to metallic. Yeah, but that looks quite well. I like this shining Eye of Ra. And let's move on. Create prefab, drag and drop to drawable. That's about it. And the last model, which is water model, water creature. This is tracker 2. Again, change the scale. Apply the texture on top of the skin mesh render component. Create animator controller, assigned animation, and we're good to go. Great, that's about it with all the models we have. So far we assigned 6 models to the image targets. So 4 to go. The Wikitude SDK contains one additional model, B model, and we're going actually to use it on top of tracker 6. Let's drag and drop B animated on the tracker 6. It looks quite well. And we're going to just delete it and assign it on the drivable variable. And that's about it with all the models. So the next thing we're going to add are video planes. Tracker 7, let's enable it. Let's preview the tracker, add 3D object plane, adjust the scale 0.1, 0.05, 0.05. Let's move it up a bit. If you want to make it bigger, so feel free to rescale it. The next important thing is that the material should be selected UI default. I mean the shader UI default. Then we should add video player component on this plain game object. Then select loop checkmark, source URL, but don't enter any URL in this component. Let's add the script that we have important at the beginning, which is set video URL. And we're going to add name over here, ar1.mp4, which is located in streaming assets folder. And we have 2 more videos to go. So let's duplicate the plane. Let's rename it to plane ar1, duplicate it, and move it to this other tracker. Rename it to ar2 and rename the name accordingly, ar2.mp4. And let's duplicate it once again, the third video, plane ar3, ar3mp3. So yeah, we have 3 video planes, and it's going to play the videos instantly once the image targets will be recognized. So we created prefabs, and let's assign those prefabs to each of those image trackable variable called drawable. Great. Let's save the scene and call it Wikitude multiple. Don't forget to add this scene in the build settings, okay? Make sure you entered 10 concurrent image targets. At the moment, I will mute all the videos. And actually rotate each modals by 180 degrees. Not only modals, but the video planes as well. I have just checked that they are oriented in the wrong direction, okay? So yeah, that's about it. Make sure your quality settings are set to ultra super duper high, and you can try out this scene. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.